We're going to come into the area of Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda, but first of all, when we come here, we have been shown and taught by example that when we come to Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda, first we give our obeisances to Raghunath Das Goswami. With his permission, with his blessing, then we can come to give our obeisances to Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda. When we come there, you may see others doing many things, but Gurudev and Guru Maharaj made it very clear, we do not bathe in the water, we do not put our feet in the water of Radha Kunda or Shyama Kunda, but we give our obeisances and just take a little water on our head.
And don't throw on others, it's not a playful thing. Just take a few drops, sprinkle on your head, bow down like that.
And it is likely to be quite busy there, so just try to keep in with the groups. See Paramananda Prabhu, he's very tall, and don't lose Paramananda Prabhu. And we will find a quiet place or a quieter place to have some Harikatha there with Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj. And remember, just don't think of anybody else what they do. What we do, it's the highest place ever. We should be very reverential. We are visitors here, we are guests here. Don't disturb anybody, but don't be too generous to suddenly give out cash. We are looking after, we have our own Panda here.
We're taking care of that.
Yeah, we have our own Panda here who's Gurudev's own disciple. We are giving that, and so not necessary to give any money to people.
Say, oh, here, take these flowers. We'll say that we're not doing that. That's taken care of.
Yes, yes. So that just as an introduction, okay? Jai Shri Radha Kunda ki Jai Shri Shyama Kunda ki Jai.
Well, what we should say is, only Radharani and her friends and assistants can properly give us a proper conception about these things. So that means our Guru Varga, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, particularly this line known as Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Saraswat means the followers of Saraswati Thakur, and real followers, not in name, but his way of approach. That's what we know. Beyond, like Guru Maharaj would say, oh, did you hear about this? This Guru says this, Guru says that. Guru Maharaj said, like you get an inheritance from your father or mother, saying, I know my father's wealth. Someone else, maybe I know what was given to me by my father, by my parents. And we mean spiritually. So Saraswati Thakur, even in this holiest of holy places, we're told, he spoke on, everyone thought, oh, now Prabhupada's going to tell us the real confidential things. And we're told, he spoke on Upadeshamritam, Vacho Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udaropatsa Vegam, the necessity of controlling the mind and the senses. He seemed to be speaking about something general, and why he's laying a foundation. The teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, some of these things are as foundation, so that we not misunderstand the very highest thing as something other than that. And so I've mentioned recently, Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 slokas. And we can say, like, an 18,000 raid sloka Siddhantic sun. And I used to think, why 10th canto for Krishna? Spit it out in the very beginning. In one sense it is there, in essence, in the first sloka. But why, you have to wait 9 cantos to get to the birth of Krishna? That's a lot of backstory if you do the math. 12 cantos, 9 to get to that point. And then 11th canto, 12th canto closing. Because we're so apt to misunderstand these divine pastimes. So there needs to be some background. So in the famous sloka about Krishna, after rasa-lila, it says, Vikritam brajabaduridam cha Vishnu. The word Vishnu is used. So we think, wait, Vishnu does not have pastimes with the Brajagopis. So why are they using the word Vishnu here? Because sometimes Vishnu is synonymous with divinity. Vishnu means God. Sometimes it's a synonym for God. They're saying these are not the pastimes of a lusty boy from UP. These are the pastimes of divinity, as pastimes with Radharani and Brajagopis, and understand them as such. So, Vishnu, Shraddhan Vito Anusrinayad Atavarnayed Yad. And it has to do with the culture of faith. It's not data transfer. It's not certain information. Tene Brahma Harada, we're told from the beginning. It's a heart-to-heart transaction. And interestingly, if we factor in Mahaprabhu, Krishna as Mahaprabhu, Guru Maharaj writes in Prapanna Jivanamritam, Guru Rupa Harim Gauram Radha Ruchi Ruchavritam. And it's almost like the words are telling us their meaning. The Guru Rupa of Hari. When Krishna takes the form of Guru, Guru Rupa Hari Gauram, he comes as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And as Rupa Goswami says, Swabhaktebhya Sudham Nijabhajanam Mudram Upadisham. With his devotees, not only teaching devotion, but what is considered the highest type of devotion. And that by inference can only mean Srimati Radharani. There is no greater devotee of Krishna than Radharani. The very name Krishna Moyi indicates mysteriously and interestingly, you get more Krishna from her than you would get if you directly approached Krishna. And we should think, oh, that must be something they tell to the new people in the lower section. Maybe they'll believe that. You get more Krishna than directly approaching Krishna. But it's a fact. Why? Because you have a tiny finite jiva soul, and here's the supreme infinite. So you're going to interact. The finite's going to interact with the infinite. A drop of the infinite is infinite. He'll be overwhelmed by a drop. Radharani is not that type of finite. She is the better half of the sweet absolute. If such a thing is possible, and it certainly is. The better half of the sweet absolute, who's Krishna's equal. When we gave her name the other day, Sugandha Kanti, and said, Krishna saying, the whole creation is maddened by my fragrance and aroma. He's saying, but what about me? I know what I smell like. That's driving everyone mad. What drives me mad is the fragrance of the aroma of my beloved, my, Sri Radhika. So we told Madan Mohan the other day, that's Freud, the eros is what's driving the whole creation, and if you really study it, you'll find it in everything to almost an absurd degree. But it's more than half true. But it has its reflection. If this is the perverted reflection of the original, it must be the driving principle over there, but without the sting, without the undesirable part of that. And we told this one, each rasa is identified according to almost like occupationally what it is. Shanta, it's past, dasya, servitorship, sakya, friendship, vatsalya, or parental love. But this one, it says madhura. It's the sweet rasa, and everything about it is sweet. Guru Maharaj once said, like nectar biting. There's biting, but it's a nectarine sort of thing. Everything here is sweet. So, mentioning that Upadeshamritam begins with controlling the senses, echoing what was told in the Bhagavatam. The last word, dhira, is saying that Only the dhira, those whose mundane senses are suppressed, can approach this plane. Like the other name of Krishna, Adhoksaja. It's called the Adhoksaja realm. Beyond pratyaksha, individual experience, paroksha, collective experience, aparoksha, the suspension of all experience, is the Adhoksaja realm, where Adha Aksaja, when it comes down, it suppresses your sense experience. That's telling you that that sort of experience is not going to be helpful in appreciating this, because by its very nature, when it descends, it suppresses all sorts of mundane experience. But as Guru Maharaj will say, that's the southern hemisphere of the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha Adhoksaja realm. It's the subjective, super subjective, and then at last a Prakrita Lila of Krishna and Goloka, the super subjective realm. And what is it like? Krishnera Jateka Kela Sarvatam Nara Lila Nara Vapu Tahara Swarup Gopavesh Venukar Navakishore Natabar Nara Lila Hoy Anurup. Human-like pastimes. So Vrindavan's a village. It says 16 kroshas is its size. And we've got the metrically inclined, it's around 50 square kilometers. So we're told the ultimate reality is 50 square kilometers. You're like, how does that work? And these innumerable Vaikunthas, which are 1 billion by 1 billion of any measure, they're all situated in one part of that soil. So we think, well, we're going to have to rethink this and reconceive. But so that highest, all-comprehensive plane is village-like in template and structure. And Krishna's human-like pastimes, they're the template for human civilization, not the reverse. What do they used to call it? The anthropomorphism, where you're imposing human qualities or characteristics on the anthropomorphic, something like that, yeah. No, it's the opposite. We've been duped. Actually, he is like that, and we're the inversion of that. His pastimes form the template for human civilization.
We are Krishna-like, he's not human-like.
Right. Exactly. That would be our good fortune. Mame amongst jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So Guru Maharaj quoted one Bengali poet who said, man is higher than God. And everyone like, one group's going, oh my God. And the human is going, yeah, we've known it all along. Come on, welcome to the club. But Guru Maharaj is saying, no, what he's saying is, God, and why Saraswati Thakur didn't like this word, so he preferred Godhead. God means, the majestic aspect, the way people are most comfortable generally when they think about divinity. He's saying, no, man, or the human-like pastimes, that's superior to this majestic aspect. Right? As we told, like the king's private life in the garden and with personal loving relationships beyond the majesty of the, what do you call it, the post or the position, but there's another word, right? So we see as love and affection, the general idea of, God is great, we're aspiring servants, the master-servant relationship, that is sensible, it makes sense, and it's predominant. But we know that's not the only possibility. The idea of equality or friendship is something extraordinary. Krishna says he's speaking very candidly in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We don't find that, where he's like revealing his side of all of this and saying, when my devotees, we could say as Garuda, in the past times where Garuda's carrying Krishna, that's ecstatic service for Garuda. He's flying, Krishna's on his shoulders, and he's very happy with that. But in Charitamritam, Krishna's saying, when we're wrestling with my friends in Vrindavan and the devotee climbs on my shoulders, I'm flying. That's very sweet to me. I've got a devotee on my shoulders and I'm running around Vrindavan like I'm flying. So now a reversal is taking place. And then he takes it ratchets it further and said, when my beloved is cursing me for some slight, real or perceived, maybe nothing's even there, such the ways of love, but when she's cursing me, it steals my mind from the reverential hymns of the Vedas. The Vedas are saying, you are so great and you're innumerable avatars, you descend in the world, you're saving the fallen souls, they're praising him and like this. And Radharani is saying, oh yeah? He's the Acharya of despicable behavior. That's who he is. Let me tell you about this man that you're all worshipping. And that's capturing Krishna, and all this praise is music to his ears. It's drowned out in the background. How sweet he finds this. So that takes it to another plane. And here we find that in Radha Kunda, we should say that, like we saw on the way here after Madhusudan Maharaj gave that talk, that the people, they bow down one length of the body, say some prayers, move up another length. That's a type of, it's like Samkhya Purvaka Namagana Natibi in the Goswami Shadastakam, the Sad Goswami Astakam. So this disciple of Saraswati Thakur, his name was Paramananda Prabhu. He came to him when he was like 12 or 13. He saw that when they were visiting. And that it's impressive. You say, what are they doing? Why do they do that? So he came to Saraswati Thakur saying, Prabhu, they have so much devotion for Radharani. Because he thought, I thought we're the Radharani people. And now we see they have so much devotion for Radharani. And Saraswati Thakur said, yes, but there was a big difference between them and us. He said they worship Radharani because she is most dear to Krishna. She is Krishna's most dearest and beloved. He said, but for us, Radharani, so in that conception, Krishna's in the primary position, Radharani's in the secondary position. But for us, the opposite. Because Krishna is dear to Radharani, do we have any connection with him? So Radharani's in the primary position, and Krishna's in the secondary position. And generally, it's like the Shaktas on one side and the Vaishnavas on the other side. They're like, declared enemies, Siddhantically speaking. But here he said, we are shuddha-shaktas. Right? That was a shocking thing. You don't call Vaishnavas, that means worshippers of Devi and the potency thing, but we're shuddha-shaktas because Radharani is the original. Just like it says in the Brahma Samhita, like Srishti, Striti, Pralaya, Sadhanir, Shakta, Eka, Chayeva, Yasya Bhuvanani Bibharti Durga. She's a shadow of the original thing, and the original goddess of all being Srimati Radharani. So here we're told that before all of this appeared, that Radharani and Brajagopi and Krishna, they regularly have rasa-lila, and particular time of day and like that. In the meantime, Kamsa, he's puggle and he's obsessed with trying to find out who it is who's going to kill him. And he's been duped into thinking that Krishna and Balaram are the children of Nanda Maharaj, but Narada, wanting to push the Leela forward, saying, actually he's a son of Vasudeva, and a little switch took place where Yashoda, he's saying Devaki had a girl, or Yashoda had a girl. And that's a complicated thing, but anyway, just before that, on the one such evening, they're going to have rasa-lila. This Aristasura comes, and an asura in the shape of a bull. And we saw on the way here bull power, right? So he's like, and if you think, why, if you were going to, and you wanted like a safe disguise in Krishna's pastimes, and then why not take the form of a cow? Who's going to kill a cow? The cow's sacred, right? So take the form of a cow, then you've got carte blanche to move here or there. No one's going to mess with you. You're a cow. You're dharma. by golly. So he comes as this bull, and we're told, making loud sounds, kicking up a storm, his horns go into the sky, and it's right before the rasa-lila. So if you want to make Krishna angry, you can think about it. Right on the verge of a rasa-lila, then you show up. And and we're told he's also passing stool and urine everywhere and just really ruining the atmosphere. Destroying the mood, you could say. So then Krishna decides, I have to deal with as Gurudev would say, this is my situation. And as we told, Keshi, horse you control by the mouth, bull, as the saying goes, got to grab him by the horns. So Krishna takes him and just throws him back. He's rushing, trying to attack. Krishna just grabs and throws him like jiu-jitsu, 10, 20 meters away. This really makes Aristasura angry. Now he's like, I'm gonna get you. Starts charging towards Krishna. And for those who've seen the ladies on the riverbank, when they take a cloth, the way they wash them, they go whack, 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 like that. Really whack, whack, whack. We're told, then Krishna grabs him, and that's what he's doing to him, otherwise known as body slamming, but to the extreme, or body slamming ad infinitum, one could say. And then, and lack of a weapon, he's just like, oh, how convenient, you brought your own. He pulls one of his horns out of his head, and then stabs him with it. And it's a bloody mess, as they say. In this divine flame. And then Krishna's thinking well, now we've taken care of that. He's got blood all over his clothes. He's saying, let's get back to the rasa-lila. And Radharani goes, oh, no. And the gopis, oh, look what you've done. This is India. You can't kill a cow in India, don't you know that? There are laws about these things. Oh, you've done the most sinful thing imaginable. And in a holy place like this, and a male, a bull, dharma. Oh, no, we won't, don't come near us, don't even try. You'll have to purify yourself, because then what should I do? You'll have to undergo some purification. But I think what you've done is so sinful. It's not like you can just go bathe in Jamuna for this. This is really extreme. In fact, you will have to bathe in go to every holy place and bathe in every holy river there is. And then get back to us. And Krishna says, that's what I have to do? Yes, you have to bathe in go to every holy place, every holy river, bathe there. Radharani thinks, how long will that take? And Krishna's saying, oh, okay. He puts his heel down on the ground, and then suddenly all the holy rivers in the world, they all come streaming out of this place. And it turns into Shyama Kunda. That's the other one. Shyama Kunda's on the eastern side, Radha Kunda's on the western side. Madhavananda Prabhu will verify that we're in the northeastern section. Not much I know, because Raghunath, that's our line. It's not that it's an accident. In the higher GPS of Siddhantic understanding, the northeastern section is for the line of Rupan, Raghunath, and so it's precise. But so he makes Shyama Kunda, and all these holy rivers personified. They're there, and they're so happy to be. And then Radharani turns to the gopis and goes, all right, gopis, this is nothing. What he did, that's nothing. Let's show him what a real Kunda looks like. And with their bare hand, there was one of the hooves of Aristasura he was large, And she said, start digging there. And with their bare hands, they start making Radha Kunda. And within an hour or so, it's complete. And so Krishna's, but there's no water. And so they're thinking, what to do? And then Krishna's saying, you can take from mine. And they go, no, you bathe there, it's contaminated. That's contaminated water. No. And then the leader of the holy rivers and holy goods appeared before Radharani and said, please, if we could be in your kunda, that would be the perfection for all of us. And in a very moving, pleading way, he's begging Radharani to allow this. And Radharani, she looks over at like, this sounds like one of Krishna's tricks, but a good one. And she said, all right. And then the wall breaks, and from Shyama Kunda, then all the water fills Radha Kunda. And Krishna is saying, I will bathe here regularly, to purify myself. And it's mentioned at the conclusion of Radharani said to Braja Gopis, we should go to Manasa Ganga and bring that water here. But anyway, like this, and then at the end of the Upadeshamritam, it's saying, so, the fortunate souls, if you understand what we're telling you in here, then you will bathe in Radha Kunda. And so you see all the people doing that. But Guru Maharaj told Srila Saraswati Thakur, he said, because Guru Maharaj had this very nice saying about, and not to offend anyone who's here, but Guru Maharaj must always speak the truth, and we benefit from hearing that truth. Because there are many who are not qualified. Because they're talking about, someone lived at Radha Kunda for so many years, and Guru Maharaj said, and so many monkeys are there, and so many other things, and they're living there, their whole lives. And he said, plodding in the mud of misunderstanding, thinking they are swimming in the divine waters of Radha Kunda. He said that plodding in the mud of misunderstanding. Guru Maharaj is a poet in any language. And so he said, Radha Kunda is Srimati Radharani in liquid form. That's why not to touch with feet, and Radharani herself in liquid form. And he said, when Saraswati Thakur told about it, he said, it is not the water that we see with our eyes, and it's not water in the conventional sense. He said, but it is the waters of self-sacrifice to the extreme. That's what is represented by her. Right? And that verse says, Thai or up ubayor, Thai up ubayor madhye, radhika sarvatadika, mahababa swrupeyam gunairati bharishyasi. Why she is even better than Chandravali. If you like, it comes down in the competition, the two. They're saying, but Radharani is superior. And we're told once, Rupa Goswami says in his poetry, in separation from Krishna, Radharani could not go on another day. The last stage of separation is death. Usually the devotees, when they enter that stage, just as they're contemplating that, they think, it'll make Krishna unhappy, they pull back. But they're told, this time, Radharani is crying incessantly and can't stop. This happens often, but on this one particular occasion, she cannot stop crying. And it's now everyone in Vrindavan is worried. And we're told, Chandravali, she approaches Radharani and admits, says, of the two of us, you're superior. I admit it. I admit it. She's saying, because if you go, Krishna will never come back here. I don't have that power to pull him back here. If we lose you, we lose Krishna, so I'm begging you not to do this. And Radharani, we're told, she's crying incessantly, and not the Guru Varga, the elders, they're all worried, and all of her friends and assistants come, and suddenly she stops crying. And Rupa Goswami said, and all of the Sakis and Mandis, they all start crying incessantly. her tears were transferred to them. And they're happy about that. There's some mysterious thing there about the Guru Varga and the line. So the transfer of those tears, now everyone else is crying and she's not. And then they realize, oh, she's staying, everybody can be happy. So repeated, it was from Srila Guru Maharaj that we first heard the concept of Radha Dasyam. Because we thought we're the Hare Krishna devotees and we worship Krishna and Radha and Krishna, but Krishna, we're just the Krishna people, even known sometimes as the Krishna people or Hare Krishna people. And we come to Guru Maharaj and the shift takes place. Like we told before, her position becomes primary and Krishna secondary. That's a major shift in one's consciousness, even Krishna consciousness. And he would say, Sakshadari tenasamasta shastra yuktasta tabhav jateva sadi kintu prabhoya priya vitasya bande guru sri charanaradan. Sakshadari, see Krishna, the Guru is Krishna in the beginning. He said, we're talking about going to Badrinath early on the way here. When you have the Himalaya, and the topmost peak is Everest. So from the greatest distance, you set your sights on Everest and start making your approach. But the proof positive that you're going in the right direction, coming nearer to Everest, is when you contact the subordinate peaks surrounding Everest. So kintu means but. So see in the beginning this way, then kintu but, kintu prabhoya priya evata. Prabhu Priya, the shift in Guru will go from Krishna to Prabhu Priya, the one who is most dear to Krishna. And that means Srimati Radharani. She is the ultimate Guru, the ultimate conception of Guru. She is conducting all the service. It's all being transacted through her. That's why we're offering our energy to the Guru Varga. She transforms it into a recognizable currency of that plane. So Radha Dasyam is the aspiration of everyone in this line. And as Guru Maharaj says in the Bhagavatam, Yadamiyam Mahima Sri Bhagavatam Katayam Pratipatam Anubutam Apya Labdabideya Tadakila Rasa Murti Shyama Avalambam madhura-rasa Sri Radha Pada Padmam Prapadye. That although her name is not mentioned there, every step of the way is to take us in the direction of the service of her holy lotus feet. So, Radha Dasyam. It's what Sanatana Goswami says in Brihad Bhagavatamritam. It's the aspiration of Rupa Goswami, and that means Sambandha Abhideya. And the Prayojan Tattva Acharya means, Prayojan means the fruit, the goal, the target, the conclusion. But the fruit. And the Prayojan Tattva Acharya, the teacher of that, is Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, who was put by Mahaprabhu as the assistant of Swarup Damodar. And Chaitanya Charitamritam is the most important book for us. Really, it comes from Raghunath Das Goswami, because we're told Swarup Damodar kept sutra-like notes. Raghunath Das's notes were more extensive, but they're together. It forms this work. That's why Swarup Damodar's slokas are quoted in the very beginning, as are Rupa Goswami's and slokas from Raghunath Das Goswami. And that Raghunath Das, after the disappearance of Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar, he couldn't think of why he should continue living. It was so touching to him, and so he wrote a book, a collection of prayers called the Vilapa Kusumanjali. We're going to Kusum. Kusum means flowers. Kusum means like a flower offering, but of Vilap means of like heartbreak and lamentation. A flower offering of, and what are they? The slokas of this heartbreaking lamentation. And what is it? How is it expressed? He says, Ashavare amrita sindhu mayi katanchit kalo mayati gamita kila sampratam hi Tom chet kripamaya vidashoshinaiva kimme prane brajena chabororu bukarinapi. So he said, and Guru Maharaj pointed out, this is a direct prayer to Srimati Radharani. Because normally you think, well, aren't we supposed to pray to Guru or Vaishnava or Krishna? Yeah. But remember, she's ultimate Guru. But here, he's directly praying to her, submitting this prayer to her. And what does he say? Asha means aspiration. Ashavari amrita sindhu. He's saying, the reason I exist and the reason I continue existing and going on with my life is my aspiration to get the service of your holy lotus feet, Radha Dasam. Saying that's my reason for being. Saying now Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar have gone, and Gadadhar Pandit, that means Radharani, Lalita. He's thinking, then my life no longer has meaning. So pran, my life. And what is more dear or meaningful to my life? And normally we could think, well, no, what could be more valuable than your life? From his perspective, Braja, as Guru Maharaj said, Vaikunter Pritivyadi Sakalachem, the soil itself is of superior substance to us. So he's saying, without you, not only is my life lost its meaning and its value, of what use is Vrindavan to me? This sounds almost sacrilegious. He's saying, Vrindavan is of no use to me without you. And then lastly, prane brajena cha bororu bakarinapi. And he's saying, and Guru Maharaj would say it this way, he said, and I know this is a shameful thing to say, but without you, Krishna is a dreadful thing. Reality, the beautiful, nectar, personified Krishna, is a dreadful thing without you. Bakari means like the killer of Baka, Bakasura, that aspect, not charming, sweet. No, he's that way with you. When Krishna is by your side, then he's so beautiful, sweet, charming, and irresistible. Without you, dreadful. I shudder to approach. So Guru Maharaj says here, boldly he is declaring that our ultimate concern is with her, Radha Dasyam, the service of the holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So that Das Goswami, the great Acharya, he came here, and we will hear later, Nijani Kata Nimasa Dehi Govardhanatvam. He said, Govardhan, give me a little place nearby. All the neophytes, they're always voyeuristically envisioning themselves as super servitors in the upper world. And the actual devotees, they're praying for like the least remote connection with that plane will be more than they dreamed of, because they know the value of that substance. And that Das Goswami Mahaprabhu used to keep the Govardhan Shila on his heart. Govardhan Shila is Krishna fully, whether this size or a big size, Krishna. And Mahaprabhu would keep on his heart that Giriraj Govardhan he personally gave to Raghunath Das Goswami for his worship. And this is what I was going to say. So he comes here, he's thinking, now that Swarup Damodar and Mahaprabhu are gone, nothing left in the world for me. I will go have a darshan of Radha Kunda Govardhan and climb up to the top of Govardhan and throw myself down and finish this life. And as I say, just as a footnote, they threaten like this, they don't do it. There's no recorded instance of them following through. It's a mood that comes to them and real feeling, but they don't do that. I got to underscore that. So he comes here, and then what does he find? Rupa and Sanatan. And he thinks, Swarup Damodar and Mahaprabhu are alive in Rupa and Sanatan. Like, I can go on living. And he is in Radha Kunda here, in this very place, doing his internal, but he's also writing beautiful things like the Mukta Charit. And you think he's such a vairagi But if you read his books, they are some sections of them, which we are they're laugh out loud. You'll be like laughing out loud. They're so funny. So you think that's extreme renunciate under the tree, writing things, bring tears to your eyes. They're so divinely funny. The dialogue between Krishna and the gopis, and I mean, really, it's just, you'll cry. It's that humorous. Written by Raghunath Das Goswami. So not to think he's, like an insensitive, or because of all the renunciation. He's so nourished internally that he has the least need for anything externally. So that Raghunath Das Goswami says in one song, we're told it's the song Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj was singing when Saraswati Thakur met him, and it goes, one of the lines says, Muke Radha Radha Bole, Veshe Nayanera Jale, Radhe Radhe. So it's saying, crawling on his hands and knees, he lived till 80 here, with tears streaming down his eyes, soaking his clothes. He says Radhe Radhe. Therefore, we don't do that. That's the purview of Raghunath Das Goswami, with tears pouring, saturating, soaking, drenching his cloth. He's taking her name like that, and we revere that. So only this time of year, Guru Maharaj allows, at the end of a kirtan, Jai Radhe, and on Radhastami, but otherwise we're respecting that and avoiding. When the people say that to me here, I just respond, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Why, Anyway, so Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Sri Radha Kunda ki jai, Sri Shyama Kunda ki jai, Sri Ananga Manjari ki jai, Sri Rupa Raghunath Pade Jararas Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Das ki jai, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami Prabhu ki jai. And Madhusudan Maharaj, you said we're going to go this way and teen samadhi.
Right, so teen samadhi.
Tell everyone.
Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Krishna Das Kaviraj.
We'll go there.
All passed away on the same day in different years, and it was
Hare.
recently also.
Yes, we celebrated that. Observed that recently.
And then Maharaj, just here, right after that, Krishna Das Kaviraj Bhajan Kuti here, and Raghunath Das Goswami's Bhajan Kuti here, and Vishwanath Chakravarti's Bhajan Kuti. They're just right next to
We'll go and give our dandavats.
Yes.